Sally and John are neighbors. Same street, identical houses, both in their 70s, both considered healthy. But their days couldn't look more different. Sally wakes up at 6 a.m. Before the sun is up, she's outside, already in motion. By 9 a.m., she's taken the train across town to meet a friend for coffee. By 11, she stopped at a grocery store 10 miles from home. Meanwhile, John is just getting out of bed. Their paths finally cross at the same doctor's office for their annual physical. Afterwards, Sally heads to the gym. John goes home. Same neighborhood, very different ways of moving through their day. Now, here's the question. If you watched both Sally and John move through their day-to-day life, could you tell whose health might be changing? My research explores this question, as mobility is a strong indicator of healthy aging. In older adulthood, reduced out-of-home mobility is linked to a higher risk of cognitive decline, hospitalization, and even mortality. Because before memory fails, before a fall happens, before a diagnosis is given, mobility quietly changes. Routines simplify. But these early shifts rarely appear in a doctor's chart. Healthcare usually enters the picture only after something goes wrong. This is where my research comes in. I studied 2 weeks of real-world mobility in a cohort of about 100 older adults, using GPS data collected from small wrist-worn devices similar to a Fitbit. From this data, I identify the places they go, the routes they take, and the transportation they use. Then I calculate measures that describe their mobility. How often they travel, how many places they visit, their routines. Are they more of a traveler like Sally, or more of a homebody like John? Together, these measures form what I call a mobility fingerprint. Just like a fingerprint, each person's mobility pattern is unique, allowing me to build a baseline of their typical mobility. In 2 years, these same individuals will be reassessed. If the fingerprint matches, their mobility is likely stable. But if it doesn't, if John's map shows fewer new locations, or Sally's early morning trips become closer to home, these could be the earliest signs of health change. In the future, mobility fingerprints could alert healthcare teams when someone needs support, whether that's a fall risk assessment or cognitive screening. Because our mobility tells a story. And perhaps one day, when we look at GPS data from people like Sally and John, we won't just see dots on a map. We'll see the early warning signs to help people stay healthy and independent longer.